Hello Leo, my name is Paul and this is Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask that you connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And if there is anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we begin with a Seven of Swords. You know, I like the Seven of Swords. Because to me, this is us following our intuition no matter what anybody says. Right? No matter what gets in your way, no matter who is telling you something different, you're following your gut. You're believing in spirit. You're believing in yourself, your true self, right? And these other little swords could just be other parts of your mind that are trying to convince you otherwise. See, there's fire of air. There is the Knight of Swords. That is you thinking and acting from that spiritual source. And it really is paying off for you. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Wow, look at those two aces and the 10 and the Fool. This might just be the best reading ever. And we've got the Princess of Discs at the end. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Okay, let's select our mystery card real quick. I'm eager to get into this energy. We've got a lot of nice cards here. Okay, so one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We're going to put our alien Simon Mork Ripley right there on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end. You know how it goes. It's going to tie everything together, right? But if at any point during the reading you get an idea, a sense, a feeling of what that card is, put your answer in the comment section, okay? I want to see if we can collectively raise our vibrations, tap into spirit, tap into source, and start intuiting, predicting, discerning that card together, okay? But first, let's take a look around the room here. We've got major and major, two major arcana. We've got some fire here. Of course, we've got some fire. We don't have any water, right? We don't have any water. We've got good air here, and of course, we have very, very good earth. Even the Five of Pentacles, it's still very, very good earth. Let's not mistake that card. It looks rather dark and dismal, and it does have its shadow qualities, but I'm feeling something good with that one. Okay. And this Fool. With the Fool now, we've got to do an I Ching reading, so let's do that first. Okay. Let's do that right away so we kind of have something to work with as far as that Fool energy goes. And the Fool really could be us. It could be that you've been in search of meaning. You've been in search of that spiritual energy, that connection. It's almost like that is your, the equivalent of you wandering through the desert, right? To reach that enlightenment, to get the message, to get in touch with spirit, right? To find out what you're supposed to do. This could be a lot of meditation, a lot of fasting, a lot of ritual. It could just be a lot of kind of self-isolation, right? Sequestering yourself, a magical retirement of sorts. But I feel like it was more active, right? It's not a hermit energy, it's a Fool energy. I feel like you were out in the world searching for that connection with spirit, right? Anyway, we still need to do the I Ching card. And we've got, oh man, I don't believe it. We've got one, the creative force. So basically it's another ace, but this is essentially the Fool too, right? This is the ultimate creative force. The kind of creating success, constancy bears fruit. This is heaven, this is the spiritual energy, pure and simple. Pure creative spirit flows through people and events, and inspiration wants to be realized and moved toward manifestation. Like I said, that's what you've been seeking. You've been on walkabout. You've been questing for your holy grail, for your meaning, right? An inspiration wants to be realized and moved toward manifestation. Moved toward manifestation, right? Moved from potential to actual. From potential to kinetic. From theory to practice. From heaven to earth. From beginning to end, right? This is the movement here to manifestation. Boy, the I Ching just never lets us down, does it? Welcome its momentum and find ways to work with this vital energy. Sustain a constant two-way flow between source and action. You know what that two-way flow is? It's this 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands, to me, light and shadow, every card. The shadow of this might be a codependence with someone. But the brilliant light side of this is the interdependence, right? And it's exactly what is put here. Constant two-way flow between source and action, right? Between your soul and the divine. Between your true self, which is God, Goddess, Deity, right? A mirror image of such. This is really on point with the I Ching. Sustain a constant two-way flow between source and action. Be true to your initial intent and align your choices with this original vision, right? This is these air energies. Are you aligning your choices, right? Getting your thoughts in order to take action. There's fire in that Knight of Swords, right? Be true to your initial intent and align your choices with this original vision to yield positive results. Almost everything on this table is a positive result here, right? How can you liberate this creative energy? And what wants to be created? Maybe that's a big question here. We've got the 10 of Pentacles down below. This is the picture of your best life. This is what you're creating. This is the vision. And here's the cat. The cat wants to participate. She was here for the Cancer reading that I just did, and then she took off, but I think she sensed what kind of energy we have here, and she wanted to rush back and get in on this too. The 10 of Pentacles is, I think, the image that you hold within you of what you're trying to create. It's your ideal, right? And we're trying to build something that's going to look like this. Yeah. So this is what wants to be created, and it's within you. And I think that's what this period of time that came before, this Fool energy, I think that was what it was all about. You maybe finding that creative force, right? Finding spirit, achieving that kind of enlightenment, and formulating your vision of what you want to do, what you want to create. And then, of course, above everything, we have an Ace of Pentacles. We've got to take the first step, right? This is the beginning of the flow to reach completion. Okay. So with an Ace and a 10, I also get this feeling like we need to start building up our resources, right? You did that big spiritual work. Now we've got to think of the practical ways that we're going to get this going forward, right? And that is a big message of this. How can you liberate this creative energy? How can we give it expression? Well, first, like we said with the 7 of Swords, we're committed to our creative force, right? We're committed to it, and we're not being swayed by any of this other chatter, either from other people, from other sides of our own mind, other elements of our psyche, other smaller egos that are in us, that are trying to kind of usurp our master ego, our super ego, our true self, right? Guardian angel. So we're resisting that. And that's the first thing that you've got to do, right? The first step on this path was the 7 of Swords, the first card that came out. And for that card, we do have to do a botanical inspiration card. And maybe this will give us a little bit of confirmation or reinforcement that we have to just stay committed to the voice of God, Goddess, Deity, ancestors, guardian angels, spirit guides, and not listen to anybody that's trying to tell us anything different, right? It's staying committed to your goals That's like the first step, right? The Dahlia, dignity. A wise man has dignity without pride. A fool has pride without dignity. Right? And that's interesting, dignity. Yeah. That kind of, to me, that sort of similar to integrity, right? That we are doing what we commit ourselves to do. Dignity without pride. That's very, very nice. Let me show you that. The Dahlia. Dignity without pride. So I think that this is interesting because we could have been the exact opposite, right? Maybe the fool here has learned how to harness that creative force, and now we've kind of taken this foolish energy, and now the fool is not so much the fool but the sage, right? The wise man, wise person. Anyway, the other air cards, the Knight, right? There's fire in that. So this is already suggesting that we are tapped into that creative source, that fire energy, what we're kind of the two-way flow, right, between source and action, between our self and the divine. And that now it's that fiery energy, that creative force, the one, that is inspiring our mind, right? And everything kind of occurs in the mind. And once we can get our thoughts in order, once we can get our plans, our choices, our decisions, then it's really just, kind of an easy transition into action. As long as we maintain this connection. And we do see the Ace of Swords here in the future as well, which is kind of showing that it's showing a cool progression here from the 7, right? We're following our own intuition, but there are other distracting energies. Well, we commit to the creative source. We commit really to this creative force, to this one that the Fool has discovered, and we're very grateful for you, Fool. We've committed to that, and that allows us now we're just this Ace of Swords. Now we've risen above all of these distracting other voices, lesser egos, differing opinions, right? Now we are just soaring above everything with this enlightened perspective, right? This is pretty good. That's really nice. And let's see what else we've got. Okay. We talked about the 10 of Wands. And this, I think, again, is that kind of two-way flow. It's the realizing that we can't just think of this as us going alone, right? It's not the pride that the botanical card talked about. The pride of thinking that it's just us. We have to remember that this is a two-way flow between ourselves and the creative source, right? That's kind of the important thing to remember. And not to feel like you don't need that connection with source anymore, right? Because that, I think, is pride, right? So this is a very important card, and we need to remember that we have to maintain that connection so that we can manifest this creative force, right? Give it form. Now, interestingly, in the position of the environment, we've got the Lover's card. It's right here in the position of the environment, position of timing. I get a slight impression that this card is trying to advise us to strengthen some of our existing relationships because we're going to need them in the practical work of this manifestation. Okay. And that, again, is kind of talking about this interdependence. It's not codependence. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom and intelligence, that we know how to combine our forces. So I think that I think that there are others in your life that you will need. I think that we need to strengthen our relationships, our networks, our connections, so that we can continue to manifest this, because the next card is the Five of Pentacles. There's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done. I said the Five of Pentacles was going to be a positive card. Okay? And this is change, this is movement, this is construction is underway. Right? And this is the obstacle. This is the kind of the big thing that needs to take place. We need to build this thing. Right? You have everything that you need within you. Now we have to strengthen the connections with our resources too. I said before that we need to kind of build up our resources, make sure we have the raw materials that we need. We have to have the connections and the network also to do this, because this is the big event. Construction is underway. Right? And this is, at the same time, this is a really joyful time, right? It's a cause for celebration. We're starting to build now, right? We've broken ground and we're starting to construct our reality. It's also the big challenge. Now it's like, oh man, construction has started. Now we're building our reality. So it's the big daunting task in front of you, but it also is very, very joyful. Yeah. And then on the other side of this, of course, we have construction is completed. Princess of Pentacles. And this is the full realization of whatever this inner image was, because this is down beneath the surface, this 10. Whatever your ideal image, whatever this is like the 3D model that you've built. And then this is the reality. It's built now. It's life size, full scale here. Okay? And this is really nice. I want to look at the mystery card, though. I feel like we need some kind of water energy here. Right? I feel like there's no water here, but we kind of need that. We need a little bit of refreshment. And perhaps the mystery card will bring us in a little bit of this healing water, this cooling water, kind of the emotional reward, right? The emotional gift. The little bit of pleasure that you need to kind of to relax at the end of the day, right? This is like we want the rest of ourselves. We want our personality. We want our body and our mind to experience the love and the joy and the pleasure of this, right? So this is the point of the reading where I'll ask you to try to connect with these cards and with these energies. Right? Try to discern this mystery card. Put your answers down in the comment section. I'll switch the cameras back this way. If you want to pause the video, go ahead. I will be venturing my own guess. I do think it's going to be water energy. I think a 6 of Cups would be perfect. Well, let's see. No. I haven't been very accurate lately. We get a 3 of Wands, and to me the 3 of Wands, this is virtue, this is integrity, right? So it kind of, to me, has an association with the dignity of the sage, of the wise person that this card's talking about. Because with this, there's a full commitment required in whatever you're doing. It has to be your head, your heart, and your body all in unison. Everything has to work together, right? Thinking, feeling, and doing. Got to be on the same page. This is also the integrity that you have, where if you say you're going to do something, you follow through with it. Okay? When you make a promise, when you speak a word, when you give your word, it becomes a deed. It is an act of creation. Right? And this is also the integrity that says that you will make the right choices even when you are alone. Right? That we don't just act a certain way in public doing good deeds and being kind, and then in private we're something completely different, right? This is a card that says you make the same decisions when you're by yourself, when no one's watching, that you would if everybody was watching you, right? And so this is the integrity that we need to say that, look, even though there are these other people are kind of challenging you, or these other voices, these other opinions are saying, no, you shouldn't do that, and you're saying, well, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm following my source, my creativity, my intuition, spirit source, you know. But then once we get here, these other voices aren't around anymore. You still have to make the same choices, right? You still have to do the same thing that you did here. This is exactly what we're talking about. You're making the same commitment here when everybody's watching, everybody's, you know, trying to convince you otherwise. And I think maybe for Leo energy, it's easy for you to do the difficult thing when everybody's telling you not to, right? But now when we get here, it's silence. Now it is kind of like you are alone in a way. Not literally, but, you know, as far as these opposing voices, we've risen above them. But you still have to make the same choices. You still have to do the difficult thing, right? There's nobody around to kind of challenge you and to bring that out of you, right? And that's what, oops, thought I dropped it. That's what we are looking at here with this mystery card, okay? And now we are going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, click either above or below in the video description. New Leo readings every Tuesday and Saturday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. I would like it if you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, hit the like button, leave a comment, all that good stuff, right? Leo, I want you to remember that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we are all in this together.